Hi, I'm going to run through creating an InDesign template for a for an artist statement. So let's come right down here. I'll open InDesign, and I've already gone to my preferences, but you need to do this as well. Go to units and increments and change these from picas to inches. Very simple. Let's make a new file. And 6 inches by 6 inches, this is the size we're going to make it be. I'm going to make the margins be 1/4 inch, not a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to create this. So that I know where this will be, I'm going to start by saying File Save. I'm going to call it my template. You can call it yours. And I'm going to save mine on my computer, but you need to save yours on your drive. All right, so start by save. Make sure you're on Essentials Classic, otherwise things are going to be really challenging for you. So, Essentials Classic. All right, I'm going to start by making a box for the whole thing. I'm going to use the rectangle tool, work right on my quarter inch margin. And here we go. Let's get rid of this history. I now have a pretty simple thing here. I am going to make a title, and my title is pretty simple. I want you to spend a little time and create a decent title with a good font. Don't use Minion Pro. Sorry, you won't get credit for that if it's just the basic font. Find something kind of interesting. And let's crank this up to 24 point. All right. I'm going to center this, and I want to make sure that my box is in the center of my document, and now it is. I'll snug this up a tiny bit. I need a new text box. And earlier, I had a hard time making one. Now it's easy. Sometimes you might have to start it out here and then move it in. But in this case, it worked fine. I'm going to click this arrow so I can select my new text box. And my new text box, is going to be just simply my name. And I'm just going to type it in. Now my first thing was 24 point. I now want to make this smaller, but I don't want to go down to 12. So I'm just going to make this 18 point, so there's some kind of staggered. I'm not going to use exactly the same font, but I'm sure not going to use Minion Pro because that's the joy of every middle schooler out there. So I'll find something interesting. For my name, it might be that. Let's see what I can do. I'm going to make it be light, and again, I'm going to center it in this box. I'm now going to select my pointer tool. So this is selected, and I'm going to move this till that lights up, and I'm going to go right about there. Okay, so now sample title, Dave Boardman. One more text box. This one is going to be for my artist statement, and I've already copied and pasted it, and it's simply going to be like this. Now this one, Command A, let's get this out of Minion Pro, and I'm going to find something interesting. This needs to be really readable. I think 12 point is probably fine. Stay away from the things that are kind of like scripty and stuff. No one can read that stuff. So just kind of find something that's sort of decent to read. This computer I'm using doesn't have a ton of fonts. I'm going to show you how to get new fonts. I really like Avenir. It is quite easy to read. You'll see I have this little plus down here, and that means there's more text. In this case, I'm going to ignore it, and I will pretend I have all the text I need. And this is essentially it. Now I want to dress this up a little bit, so I'm going to snap up this a tiny bit. I'm going to change this to something a little offbeat. Let's go up a little higher on this, and that's about it. Now let me show you one more thing. If I wanted to, I could outline this inner line. All right, so I gave it a 1 point, but you'll see that now my letters crash into the side. Very hard to read, looks very messy. So I simply am going to go up to Object, Text Frame Options, and I want to pop these in. So inset spacing. And I'm just going to go, this is, I think, 1/8 of an inch. It's under 1/4. And I'm just going to now, whoops, let's see if I can do that a little better. Object, text frame options, inset spacing, just about there. I'm going to align this to the top. I will click OK, and now you'll see that it is kind of aligned in here. The other thing that makes reading hard for people is hyphenating, stuff like this stuff, all right? So I'm just going to select my work, be in the Paragraph tab, unclick Hyphenate, and now you'll see I'm aligned left, and here we go. Well, I'm going to pretend this is the end of my text. Chances are I would have to do a little more work on this. Last, before I turn this in, before I print this, I want to make sure things are generally centered. They're clean. Maybe I will pop this up a little more, but not much more than that. And that is a pretty basic way of creating a artist statement format.